So this is an interesting little product that I'll unbox and test today. It's the Ecovacs Pro mopping system for the T8 series of vacuum robots. It's different from the mopping attachment that comes with those robots. The mopping attachment, the one that's included, controls the flow of water electronically, as does this one. But this one has a vibrating mopping head. I see it comes with 25 extra disposable mopping pads. That's nice. This system, by the way, only uses disposable mopping pads. You can't put the washable one on it. Yeah, so it should be interesting. It doesn't hold a lot of water, so it's probably going to be pretty stingy with the water, and water is very important for mopping. That's why my Swiffer mop works so effectively, especially the more I spray the solution onto the surface, the better it picks stuff up. So with a small water reservoir like this, it'll be interesting. We'll see how it does. I have high hopes for it because although Ecovacs says that this thing will have a hard time crossing thresholds, or a harder time with this thing attached, if it can get everywhere in the house and mop effectively, that will be pretty interesting. So let's fill this thing up with water. It doesn't seem to hold very much. I've already rinsed it out. Let's see. Yeah, that's very little water. So it's going to be extremely stingy with that water, so maybe the results won't be that great. I'll soak the pad like the instructions recommend. That should help. One thing that's pretty important that they want you to do is to dry the contacts, the electronic contacts where this connects with the robot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I certainly don't want to fry my robot messing around with this mopping thing. There's that contact right there. I just want to make sure the rest of it is dry, at least up on top, and then we're ready to mop. It doesn't click in very positively. It does click in, just wish it was more positive so I wouldn't have to wonder if it's in. So here we are in the app. Oh, this is the first time I guess you install this. It pops up these little information things. Deep scrubbing, that's the one we'll choose. One pass, I guess, for now. And I'll set the water flow to maximum. Suction power doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to go ahead and set, oh yeah, let me go in there and change the scrubbing pattern. They don't look very different in the picture, I guess, but I wonder what the difference actually is. I'll have to test that in the full review. I do have a full review of the T8 AIVI, or IVI as they want you to call it, coming soon. So here are these custom zones, and as I mentioned in my Roomba mapping video, they don't let you save these. So every time you start cleaning, it's a new one that you have to configure. Alright, so here it is in my bird cages, and it's going to try its hand at mopping some dried parrot poop. To get the stuff out, I have this stuff called poop off, with like an enzymatic thing. It dissolves it. This is when the birds come out of the cages and, you know, they fly around and sit around and poop everywhere. So I don't really expect this to do anything or do much of anything. But what I do expect, sometimes when I clean the bird poop, I leave some residue, you know, because I'm in a hurry or whatever. So maybe this thing will take out the residue. That would be nice. Well, we'll see what it does. That white patch and that dark patch, that's a dried bird poop. So obviously it did nothing for that. Those lighter patches, though, are the residue that I leave behind from being lazy. So doesn't seem to be doing that much for that either. That's alright. I mean, the ShineBot doesn't really do this either, the iLife ShineBot. It's kind of a lot to expect from a mopping robot because you have to scrub these things. Let's see what it leaves behind. It did leave behind a wet floor. Actually, it did pick up some of the residue, so that's pretty good. Not the heavier residue, but the lighter stuff. Yeah, it got rid of that. So that's nice. I like that. That will let me be a little lazy with my use of poop off. Alright, so here's some cranberry juice. I'm going to smear it around so I don't have to wait like 5 hours for it to dry. And as I'm smearing this around, I'm realizing that this is way too much and it's a very unfair test, so I'm going to mop most of it off with the Swiffer. I'm going to leave a decent sized patch for this thing. About a little bit bigger than the one I had for the ShineBot, because there's no wine or ketchup or any of that other stuff. So we'll see what it does compared to this. Now the ShineBot actually cleaned most of it off, and what little it didn't clean was mostly the ketchup that it spread around in a very light, sticky residue. If this thing does as good as that, that would be fantastic. But we will see. So it's time to let it dry, and here it is, nice and dry, ready to be mopped. We'll see how that works out. I have my hopes up for this. See, I have to make a whole new clean zone. Come on, Ecovacs, let me save the clean zones. It's not that hard. Alright, so here's the threshold. Can it get over it? Yes! Very nice. Okay, so that's the most difficult threshold I have, so if it can get over that, it can get over anything. I'm leaving the sound on here. My birds are quiet, so there's no chirping. You can see the thing scrubbing, and you could hear the sound it makes. People are like, why don't you hide your light? Otherwise people will know you're some schmuck filming this stuff in his home. Like, anyone doesn't actually already know that. Yes, I'm just some guy filming stuff in his home. There's my light. I'm also using my phone to record this. Oh, the horror. Maybe if I get more subscribers, I'll get a nice fancy camera. So it's making multiple passes. I wonder where it's hesitating. This thing, it's smart, so it makes a lot of weird decisions, and you could see it thinking and reacting. It's really interesting to watch this thing work. I wish you could use cleaning solution though in this mopping pad. Ecovacs doesn't want you to do it. They say it'll damage it. If the thing isn't effective though, I think I'm going to try it, because if it stinks, then I'll damage it, and who cares, right? It's worthless anyway if it doesn't work. But I'm hoping it does work. That'll be really cool. A truly intelligent navigating mopping robot that can go anywhere and mop anything. Kind of like a Brava jet that can cross thresholds. That would be really cool. And I will do more tests of this. This is just like a quick and dirty unboxing and quick test. I'm going to do like head-to-head tests with the ShineBot, test various types of dirt, see what this thing can and can't do. Alright, it's done, and it's leaving. So let's see what it left behind. So the wet stuff looks good. I can't really tell if there's a sticky mess because it's wet. I guess I'll have to let it dry and see what happens. In the meantime, while I'm letting this dry, I'm going to go and check out what the mopping pad looks like. So let's get that out of there. That doesn't look like it has a lot of cranberry juice in it. It's a little disappointing.
Sorry. Something went wrong. I'm unable to control your home device.
If I did smart home reviews, Google would be in trouble. Alright, so now it's dried. Let's see what actually happened. Nope, it's sticky and nasty. It looks like most of it is there. This actually did worse than the ShineBot. The ShineBot, it spread a mildly sticky mess, but this is much more tacky. So this is a little disappointing, but I'm not surprised, because as little water as this uses and with no cleaning solution, I don't know. I don't see how this could work well. Time for the mop. In theory, this scrubbing thing is doing the exact motion as this mop. Well, not exact, but close enough, and actually even more so because it's vibrating. I think the difference is, one, it's just water, and two, it's very little water because the reservoir is so tiny. I wish that these guys, Ecovacs and others, Roborock, that make these combination robots, would make a dedicated vacuuming robot with a much larger bin and perhaps a sensor that tells you when the bin is dirty, because that's important, hint, hint, especially if you have an auto empty bin. And then a dedicated mopping robot that has a lot more water, that can actually clean effectively, and that can take cleaning solution, because, I don't know, without it, it's just not that great. So that's it for now. Like I said, I'll do more in-depth tests with this, run it head-to-head with the ShineBot and the Roborock S6 VMAX, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Mike, and this is Mr. Rumbato.